With New Year's Eve around, I have just the most perfect look for you. It is simple and glam and subtle all at the same time and super easy to do. So let's get started. Since we're going glam, I'm actually starting with a primer this time. This one is the Maybelline Fit Me Primer, which gives me a really nice, a little thick but tacky consistency, which is great for makeup to sit on and then last. I have been really enjoying this one. Then I just top it up with the Huda Beauty concealer. Now this concealer is so opaque and so thick. The coverage is beautiful, but it definitely dries me out. I used it for this look, but I wouldn't recommend it as much. What I am using to blend this concealer is this beautiful buffing brush from the All You Need collection from Pac X Jovita collab, and I'm just using very light pressure, keeping my fingers really away from the brush to just blend it all in. As you can see, it kind of cakes up a little, so if you have really heavy acne marks or blemishes, you can definitely use this. Otherwise, just use literally half the quantity I've used. Now, to give this thick opaque look a really nice dewy, very natural looking finish, what I'm doing is I'm using my favorite Givenchy foundation, and then I'm also buffing it in with a really flat top buffing brush. All of these brushes that I'll be using are from the Pac X Jovita collab. These are super amazing, very comfortable to use, and as we go through the look, you'll see how beautifully this foundation sets in. This is definitely expensive, but it's definitely worth your money. Then I'm moving on to setting this base with a loose setting powder. Again, my favorite one from K Beauty. I use a very small amount and I lightly dab it into all of the areas. The concealer is already pretty drying, so we don't need a lot of powder. Then I am going ahead and contouring my face with a bronzer. I don't want the contour to be too crazy, so very light strokes right from like the tip of where your ear starts, simply blending it upwards and onwards, and you can use very light pressure. You can just build it up. Don't go super crazy in the first go, just build it up slowly. Then we move on to my favorite step, which is brows. I brush them first and then I fill them in. Using a brow pencil is literally the easiest thing that you can ever do, so go ahead and do that. I'm using this one from NYE. Then we move on to eyeshadow. I start with a really nice neutral nude brown color and I put it all over my crease, and I just then blend it outwards just to set the base for what is going to be my look. This has definitely defined my crease, and now we are going to move on to adding more color and adding more definition. For that, I've used a darker brown and I have just placed it under my waterline just to give more depth under my eye as well. Otherwise, it tends to look kind of flat, so we're going to do that first. Once we are through with that, I'm going to take the same brown that I've used and I'm going to place it on the outer corners to give it more definition and to give it more depth as well. And this works really well for monolids and hooded eyes alike. And for monolids, I think this is a really good trick to make your eyes look deeper and slightly bigger than they actually are. Once the base has been set, I then like to move forward with a really nice base color, and for some reason I've been obsessing over this beautiful pink on the lid. I love this. This palette is the Naughty Nude palette from Huda Beauty. It's one of my first few purchases from Huda Beauty and I've been loving the palette so far. So definitely a thumbs up from me on this palette. Now, to give that glam New Year's Eve look, I'm adding this beautiful liquid glitter from Swiss Beauty. You guys have been asking me to use Swiss Beauty for a while, so I got this and I'm actually pretty impressed. It's honestly still not as great as the Stila one, but it works really well, especially great for beginners. Just tap that in and you can build it up as much as you want. Now I'm just using the same brown again, slightly darker one actually, to intensify the crease and the outer corner, just to blend everything together. Once that is done, I go ahead with my trusty wing. I wanted to go very simple with this look, but I also wanted to keep it glam, hence the glitter. But otherwise, for my wingtip, I just follow kind of where my lower lash line leads to. I kind of bring that eyeliner out, I fill that in, and I make sure to use very small light strokes, and I try to balance it with the other eye as much as I possibly can. Another thing that I like to do, especially with monolid eyes, is I only get the eyeliner till like the middle of my eyes and not all the way through. This makes it look bigger and it makes the wing look a lot more defined. Now to finally like glam up, I'm curling my lashes. I'm using the Smoky Eyes mascara from Bobbi Brown. This is the mini one. It's really good. If you already have voluminous lashes, I think this is the only mascara that you could possibly need. Now to really glam up after I put on my falsies is to add these really beautiful little glitter dots. So I add them right in the center of my lower lash line and then also on my inner corner, just a really nice, effective, opaque circle, and you're good to go. And now we're just finishing up the glam with adding some blush, which is from K Beauty again, one of my absolute favorite blushes. I like a sun-kissed look, so I put a lot of blush on my nose. Then we're finishing up with this Maybelline Chrome highlighter. It's not as dark as the other ones, but it gives a very nice melted sort of a golden finish, which I am kind of into right now. So highlighted all the high points of my face, and then we just are going to finish this look off with a combination of two lipsticks. The darker one is from Kiro Beauty. This is Cinnamon Nude. This gives me a really nice dark base for depth, and then I put a really nice light nude in the middle, which is from MAC, which is the shade Honey Love. Now since we were going glam, I also wanted to add some shine and gloss to my lips, and I definitely opted for my favorite Bobbi Brown lip gloss. It is so beautiful. It matches the color kind of almost perfectly, and there you have it. We're ready with this look. This look would go so well with a ton of different outfits. I styled mine with a halter neck red top, some really beautiful embellished crystal, Swarovski crystal kind of jewelry. I also added gloves for some glam, and I just carried it all with confidence and a smile on my face, and I think that really makes a big difference. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a good year for what the year has been. I hope you have next year, and I'm going to see you next year with my videos. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching my videos, and I can't wait to bring you more and better. And I love you guys. Thank you for everything. Hope you enjoyed.